Hello. Well, Dick, I think, is away somewhere up north. He said he was farm sitting, but ever solicitous, he decided to send me a present. And this is a W134 from a German company called Reichelt Electronic. Well, not much in that. Aha. Well, this is a rather nice, small, light wind speed and direction measurement device. The interesting thing about this is that this is just a spare part from a bigger weather station, and it's got a wind unit and a temperature unit and a rain unit, and they're all connected wirelessly to a central display. And we haven't bought any of that, we just bought this wind bit. Dick's idea was that we'd put this on the top of the mast of Woodstock and maybe break into the data before it gets to the wireless transmitter and send it to the autopilot. But an equally attractive idea, if it can be done, is simply to put a 433 megahertz receiver next to the autopilot and pick up the signals that come from this. I think I can take it apart like that. So we've got a wind unit which is quite nicely constructed from the point of view of being waterproof, or at least rain-proof, proof against water coming from on high. No connection inside, so there must be a Hall effect sensor. In fact, there is one here. So there will be a sensor and a magnet up here, I guess, which senses 1 revolution. Then we've got a little slot for 2 AA batteries. And I can see there, you won't be able to see, but I can see there a helical aerial for the 433 megahertz transmitter. There are 2 screws here where I could remove the electronics from the battery and see what's up here, but at the moment I can't do that. I'm thinking, I'll just put this back together again for a moment. Put it the other way up. Oh, no, I suppose it's supposed to be this way up, isn't it? So if I move this through a meter in 1 second, it barely turns. It just begins to turn, I'd say. So I don't think it's going to measure speeds below 1 meter a second. 1 meter a second is about 2 mph. But above that speed, it should be okay. Yep. The wind direction indicator has a small lump of metal here, which is a counterweight, I guess. Because it does seem to be nicely, I thought it was fairly well balanced insofar as tilting it does not actually cause it to rotate much. I'm a bit worried about the very small vane here. Makes me wonder if I move this normally to its direction. Yeah, it does follow it. Of course, it won't get that right because it didn't get that right, did it? And it does seems to be responding, but it also seems to have quite a lot of momentum in its own. So you would need a continuous airflow on it to keep it honest. But this thing is quite light. I don't know how much it weighs, and quite nicely constructed. I mean, it's just about a good compromise between a tiny thing that would do nothing and a big thing that would be too heavy and bulky to put on top of the mast. So I now have some homework to do to try and work out how we can get the data out of this thing, either using a 433 megahertz receiver. I tested HC12's 433 megahertz receivers some months ago as a possible candidate for the telemetry link. So I think I'll try and see if I can receive something on the HC12 coming from here. Failing that, we might have to break into the circuit and intercept the signal before it gets to the transmitter. So, there's no peace for the wicked.